to not a super distant point, 5 years from now, 4 years from now maybe, we'll have better medical care than anyone has today, available for everyone. So this is actually, and frankly, if this doesn't happen, we'd go bankrupt as a country, and then at some point it's going to be, I guess, a competition with China.
Yeah.
Like China's just got a lot of power. China, I think, will pass 3 times the U.S. electricity output in 26. One laptop with a spreadsheet can outperform a skyscraper of several hundred human computers,
Right.
of people doing calculations. Grok 5, I think, might end up being nearly perfect on the HLE. I previously advised that we slow it down. I've said that many years, and I was like, okay. Then I finally came to the conclusion, I can either be a spectator or a participant, but I can't stop it. Only the simulations that are the most interesting will survive. Because when we run simulations in this reality, we truncate the ones that are boring. Okay, so I'll tell you something else I'll tell you something that most people in the AI community don't yet understand, which is,
In his first big appearance of 2026, Elon Musk sits down with Peter Diamandis to talk about the U.S. versus China race, AGI timelines, the future of jobs, humanoid robots, and clean energy. The original conversation runs for well over 2 hours. In this supercut, we've kept only Musk's most important answers and saving you almost 2 hours of watch time while preserving every core insight in just 1 hour. We begin as Musk explains why advanced AI could create both universal high income and social unrest, and what it will take to steer toward a Star Trek future instead of a collapse.
I think probably at this point, Grok, if you took a photo and submitted it to Grok, it could probably tell you if the circuit is if there's something wrong with it.
4.2, but 5 is soon, right?
5 is Q1.
Yeah.
4.2 has not been released yet.
Okay.
Externally, but yeah, I mean, if you just upload an image into Grok, it's does quite a good job.
So my question is from a first principle standpoint, right?
Yeah.
The rationale for optimism. How do we head towards Star Trek and not Terminator? How do we go towards universal high income instead of social unrest? So
why not both?
Or
have universal high income and social unrest. That's my prediction.
Is that your actual prediction?
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems likely. That's the trend.
Yeah, totally.
No, we have...
Well, because there's going to be so much change. It's like, be careful what you wish for, because you might get it.
Yeah.
Now, if you actually get all the stuff you want, is that actually the future you want?
Yeah.
Because it means that your job won't matter.
Elon, why are you so optimistic? Are you optimistic? Let's start there.
I'm not as optimistic as you are.
Okay.
But
why are you optimistic?
I'm more optimistic than most people.
Okay.
And is the trend upward compared to a year ago, 2 years ago?
Well, I think if you reframe things in terms of progress bar, like speaking of challenges, progress towards a Kardashev 2 scale civilization.
Sure.
Well, let's say the aspiration,
capturing all the energy from the sun's output.
Well, let's even have a humbler aspiration than that. If we say that our goal is to even get 1/millionth of the sun's energy, that would be more than 1,000 times as much energy as could possibly be produced on Earth. So about 500 millionth of the sun's energy reaches Earth. So you'd have to go up 3 orders of magnitude from that just to get to 1/millionth.
Yeah.
So we're very, very, very far from even having 1/billionth of the sun's energy harnessed in any way. So a reasonable goal would be try to get to 1/millionth. And if you try to get to 1/millionth or 1,000, 0.1%, that's such an enormous. There's not sure what metaphor we would use here, but because a hill to climb is not a inappropriate, not a big enough metaphor. So if you try to get to 1/millionth of the sun's energy, or 1,000th of the sun's energy, now these are very, very difficult tasks.
And energy is the inner loop for everything right now.
Yeah, I think the future currency will essentially just be wattage.
Yeah, I was thinking, is the ability of a person to control energy and compute, or just energy? I mean, the two
yeah.
two translate, obviously.
Just like harnessed energy.
Yeah,
Like so, or like basically how much power is being turned into work of some kind,
right.
intelligence or matter manipulation.
So that's your next big project, is going to be energy. It's going to be, you're going to go back to your solar
You can
city
expand
roots.
from there and say,
Yeah.
okay, what about even getting somewhere on a Kardashev 3 scale, meaning galaxy level?
Now we're talking. Now we're back to Star Trek.
Yeah, expand horizons here.
Yes.
Well, there isn't even a horizon because you're not on a planet.
So we talk about.
So if you're seeing galaxy mind,
Yeah. Well,
That's-
listen, we're in 11.5 million square foot, 3 pentagons right here in this building. I
Yeah.
mean, you think in a reasonably large scale.
what is magnitude?
Yeah.
So I mean, so from a challenge standpoint, I guess the civilizational challenge will be how do you climb the orders of magnitude
Yeah.
in energy harnessed beyond what people possibly could think of as abundance. But like the AI actually, the AI and robots to the limit will saturate all human desire. People just don't understand how that solar is everything. So everything compared to the sun, all other energy sources are like cavemen throwing some twigs into a fire.
Yeah.
So the sun is over 99.8% of all mass in the
Yes.
solar system. Jupiter is around 0.1% of the mass. So even if you burnt Jupiter, the energy produced by the sun would still round up to 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then if you teleported 3 more Jupiters into our solar system and burnt them too,
It would still round up.
it's still the sun still rounds up to 100% of energy.
So going back to what Dave is saying, over the next 5 years, what are you scaling on energy front? Do you, I mean,
5 years is a long time.
I mean, energy. I mean, China's done an incredible job,
Yeah.
right? I mean, it's running circles around us.
China has done an incredible job on solar.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So I believe China's production capacity is around 1,500 gigawatts per year of solar. I think we should scale solar substantially in the U.S. Tesla and SpaceX are scaling solar, and I encourage others to do so as well. I mean, obviously I've said this stuff, publicly. I do see a path to 100 gigawatts a year of space solar, sort of AI-powered, solar-powered AI satellites.
Yes.
So 100 gigawatts a year of solar-powered AI satellites.
I did the math on that. That's like 500,000 Starlink V3s launched over 8,000 Starship flights. That's one every hour.
For a year.
10,000 flights a year is a reasonable number. I mean, by aircraft standards, that's a small number.
Sure.
Sure.
In terms of flights. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so you're just depends what you compare it to. If you compare it to the rest of the rocket industry, it's a very high number.
Yeah.
And we're talking about 1 million tons of payload to orbit per year. So if you do 1 million tons of payload to orbit per year with 100 kilowatts per ton, that's 100 gigawatts of solar-powered AI satellites per year. At the point at which you can put 1 million tons of satellites into orbit, you can also start bringing down satellites too,
Yeah.
or at least collecting them into a fixed location, so they're not all over the place.
Yeah, then you can reuse them.
Yeah, let's just say that we'll have the resource level will be so high that I believe this will be a solved problem, given the amount of intelligence we're talking about here.
Oh,
The intelligence will be quite interested in preserving itself.
yes.
The data centers will not be in low Earth orbit, right? They'll be much higher, constantly in the sun. They're not going to be in the traffic jam, I assume.
Well, you can get to, you don't have to get to constant sunlight. You can be around 1,200 kilometers sun synchronous will give you constant sunlight. Below around 700 or 800 kilometers, the atmospheric drag will bring it back.
Yeah.
So, for Starlink, there's a dual benefit of being as low as possible because your beam your beams are tighter. You're basically that you have less latency and your beams are smaller if you're closer to the Earth. To
I
stay in
still
position.
remember when you proposed Starlink, and everybody else in the industry was like, "No way, no way. He's not going to get the spectrum. he's not going to be able to do this.
Yeah.
It's kind of worked.
Yeah. The Starlink team has done an incredible job.
Yeah.
I mean, we've basically rebuilt the internet in space with a laser
And
links.
what's the energy solution here on Earth for the rest of humanity?
Well, the best way to actually increase the energy output per year of the United States or any country is batteries. So the
Sure.
peak power output of the U.S. is around 1.1 terawatts, but the average power usage is only half a terawatt.
Yeah.
So if you just buffer the energy, so charge up the batteries at night, discharge during the day, without incremental capital expenditures, without building new power plants, you can double the energy throughput of the U.S. The energy output per year can double with batteries. And
So why don't people do this?
it's on the internet.
Yeah.
So do you think
They are, and China, by the way, is like. It seems like China listens to everything I say and does it basically, or at least, or they're just doing it independently. I don't know, but they're certainly making massive battery packs, like really massive battery pack output. They're making vast numbers of electric cars,
Yeah.
vast amounts of solar. Tesla makes a solar roof, which is the only solar roof that isn't ugly. Our solar roof actually looks beautiful.
Yeah.
But if you want to do solar at scale, you just need more surface area. So we have vast empty deserts
Sure.
in America. Like if you fly from LA to New York or just fly across country and you look down, for a large portion of the time you look down, it is bleak desert.
Yes.
It looks like Mars, essentially.
We're not worried about overpopulation.
No, I mean, there's barely a lizard alive in these scorching deserts. You know?
Yep.
It's not like farmland we're talking about. We're just talking about places that look like Mars. There's not going to be some energy crisis. There'll be a large forcing function to harness more energy, but we're not going to run out of it.
All right. I want to talk about education. College graduates as a group turn out to be the group that's out of work the longest.
It's
And
still-
tuition has
still
increased 900% since 1983.
Yeah, the administrative expenses at universities
Insane.
have gotten out of control.
Yep.
Yeah.
What was your college journey?
I went to college in Canada for a couple of years at Queen's University.
Uh-huh.
So I had Canadian citizenship through my mom, who was born in Canada. And my grandfather was actually American, but for some reason, I don't know, my mom couldn't get U.S. citizenship. But she was born in Canada, so I got Canadian citizenship. And I didn't have any money, so I could only go to Canadian university at first.
I mean, people forget that about you. You didn't have this giant social network or huge amount of wealth coming into all of this.
No.
Yeah.
No, I arrived in Montreal at age 17 with, I think, around $2,500 in Canadian traveler's checks, back when traveler's checks were a thing. And one bag of books and one bag of clothes. That was my starting point. That was my spawn point in North America. So I went to Queen's University for a couple of years, and then University of Pennsylvania, did a dual degree in physics and economics.
And graduated.
Undergraduate at UPenn, UPenn Wharton.
Yeah.
And then I came out I was going to do a PhD at Stanford, working on energy storage technologies for electric vehicles, essentially material science, I guess, fundamentally. The idea that I had was to try to create a capacitor with enough energy density that you could get high range in an electric car. So you could definitely get a PhD, but it wasn't clear that you could make a company or do something useful. Like most PhDs, I hate to say it, but most PhDs do not
Turn into something that's going
do not turn into something useful.
Yeah.
Like you could add a leaf to the tree of knowledge, but it's not necessarily a useful leaf.
this is the moment.
I think right
this
now
is the moment.
it's not clear to me why somebody would be in college right now unless they want the social experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The question is, how would you redesign the educational program, if I could be so blunt, as to create more Elon Musks? If we want to create an Elon Musk factory of people who start with very little, but are able to drive breakthroughs, what drove you?
Curiosity about the nature of the universe. So
And
I'm
that
just curious about the meaning of life and, what is this reality that we live in? Well, I found school to be quite painful, and it was very boring, and in South Africa it was very violent. So
Huh.
it's like it was like that book Ender's Game,
Yes.
but in
Survival.
reality IRL.
Yeah.
Ender's Game IRL. It was like, but not as fun.
So your goal was escape.
Yes, I had a lot of adversity. Probably it was good. It probably, helped somewhat, I suppose. I don't remember any conversations with people saying they wanted to start.
Even at
coding.
Stanford at the time?
I actually, a few days into the semester, or I should say the quarter, I called Bill Nix, who was the head of the material science department, and said I'd like to just put it on deferment. So he said, that's okay, you can put it on deferment. But he said, this is probably the last conversation we'll have. And he was right. But then I think it was last year, he sent me a letter saying that all of my predictions about lithium-ion batteries came true.
But what would you do for education, middle, high school? You just came back from an announcement with President Bukele, who's a friend. I think he's an amazing
He's a very smart guy.
visionary. Yeah. Incredible what he did with his nation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
remarkable.
Remarkable and gutsy.
Yeah, I was
And
like,
gutsy.
how are you still alive?
I mean, do you know how, besides putting everybody with a gang sign in jail, I don't know if you know the second thing he did. He went to all of the graves of all the gang members out there and destroyed the graves and said, your memory will not be remembered in this nation. That's just badass. And it worked.
I mean, you have to be badass motherfucker to take on all the narco gangs and win.
And live.
Yeah, and still be alive.
But
Yeah.
what did you announce with him in El Salvador?
It was just basically to use Grok for education, like personalized
Hopefully not the
education.
vulgar version of it.
Yeah, we would have like, the kids-friendly version of Grok. But obviously AI can be an individualized teacher
Yeah.
that is infinitely patient and answers all your questions. Now, you still need to be curious, and you still need to want to learn. Grok can't make you want to learn. It can make learning more interesting and less of a production line. But kids do need to want to learn,
Yeah. Do
So,
you,
and like people should just think of the brain as a biological computer with, so with a number of neurons and neural efficiency.
Yeah.
So what you can't do is turn any arbitrary kid into Einstein. This is
Sure.
not realistic because Einstein had a very good meat computer, like an outstanding meat computer. So you can't just do Shakespeare, Newton,
Yeah.
Einstein type of thing, unless the meat computer is an exceptional one. Right now, I'd say people should just, go to school for the social experience, use more AI. The conventional schooling experience, I think, could be a lot better. What we're going to do in El Salvador and hopefully other places, just have individualized teachers. That's going to be much better. And you could go to a school with a bunch of other kids, I guess, if you want to hang out with other kids, but you don't need to.
Right.
You could do it on your phone at home. So that's why I say, at this point, education is a social experience. When I talk to my kids who are in college,
Yeah.
they do recognize that they can learn just as much independently. In fact, that they would learn more in a work situation.
Yeah.
They're there for the social experience and to be around a bunch of people of their own age.
I want to talk about health and longevity 1 second. The U.S. is ranked number one in health expenses worldwide, and it's ranked 70th in health span. Right?
Really, 70th?
70th.
Is that
From
fair?
Grok.
Is that accurate? Is Grok? Well, I don't know.
Well,
It sounds,
everybody listening
sounds
should
low.
check it
I think we'd be better than 70th.
for health span.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
whatever. It's
Oh, you
not-
say
we're
this
not-
is like
we're
we
not-
just get fat or something.
We're not the
or what?
top 10.
Maybe Ozempic can help us climb the rankings there.
So you,
Would you just run around? We need Cupid, but Ozempic. Manjaro Cupid. but I think that's a big reason. It's like if people get really fat, then their health gets bad.
yeah. Well, if they don't have any exercise, he'll get bad. Or if they eat donuts for breakfast every morning, you still doing that?
No, actually, I'm not.
Okay, that's good.
Well, first of all, I wasn't eating a lot of donut. I was trying to have 0.4 of a donut, which rounds down to 0. So I figured anything below 0.44 of a donut rounds down to 0.
So you and I have had disagreement on longevity
We
a
have?
little bit. Yeah. I was saying, we should push to get people to 120, 150. And you were saying people,
Die.
shouldn't live that long. So this,
So how long do you want?
yeah,
There's some, people in the world that have done some bad things. How long do you want them to live?
it was interesting. You said we need people to die so people change their minds.
Oh, yes.
And
people don't change their minds. They just die.
But my response to that was the head of GM didn't have to die for Tesla to come along, and Lockheed and Northrop and Boeing didn't have to go away for. I mean, there's in a meritocracy, the better ideas will dominate. But then we've got folks like Dario Amodei predicting doubling the human lifespan in the next 10 years. So
that's probably correct.
okay, great.
I don't know about doubling, but significant
A significant increase.
Sure. I mean, wouldn't it be funny if we do this in like 10 years? Okay, we should do it in
okay.
We'll do it in 10 years for
right.
sure. And let's see if we look younger.
Back then, Elon was like, late 40s. Wait till he gets into his 60s. He's going to want, longevity more.
I mean, I want things to not hurt.
Yeah, sure, of course.
It's like basically it seems like it's only a matter of time before you get back pain.
Yeah.
Like it's a when, not an if. When your back hurts.
Arthritis. Yes.
Yeah, like these
All
things,
those things.
suck, basically.
And-
Yeah.
Being able to sleep through the night without going to the bathroom.
It's worth a lot. It's very
How much for that
valuable.
one?
Yeah. It's
It's like one of the signs that a country is not on the right path.
Adult
Is when the
diaper
adult
sales.
diapers exceed the baby diapers.
Yeah, we're there. I think we're there.
Yes.
South Korea will be there.
They already they passed that point.
Oh, they passed that
They passed
point.
that point many years ago. Japan passed the point many years ago. Yeah, so 3 generations, they're going to be 1/27th, so 3%
So-
of their current size. I mean, North Korea won't need to invade; they can just walk across.
Yeah.
But you've been very verbal about the not overpopulation, but massive underpopulation.
Yeah, I've been
So
saying
let-
this for ages.
Yeah, longevity is going to be an important part of the solution. I also think, by the way, if you increased the productive life of most Americans by just a few years, you'd flip the entire economics here.
Well,
If they're willing to work.
AI and robots is going to make everything
Sure.
free, basically.
Yeah.
But how long would you want to live?
I want to go, other planetary systems. I want to go and
Okay, that's a
explore
long
the
time.
universe. Yeah, I mean, I would like to double my lifespan for sure. I don't want, I'm not sure I wanted to talk about immortality, but, at least
Forever
120,
is-
150 is a long time.
One of the worst curses possible would be that
Yes, may you live forever.
may you live forever.
Yeah,
That would be one of the worst
yeah.
curses you could possibly give anyone. This is something, by the way, that I think I think it's very. Obviously, other people think this too, but I've long thought that like longevity or semi-immortality is an extremely solvable problem. I don't think it's a
Yeah.
particularly hard problem. I mean, when you consider the fact that your body is extremely synchronized in its age,
Yep.
the clock must be incredibly obvious. Nobody has an old left arm and a young right arm.
All right.
Why is that? What's keeping them all in sync? You're programmed to die. Is the way you're programmed to die. And so if you change the program,
Yeah.
you will live longer. In retrospect, the solution to longevity will seem obvious,
Yeah.
extremely obvious.
After laying out how quickly artificial intelligence could replace huge portions of white-collar work, Musk turns to the deeper question: what happens to savings, careers, and retirement in a world where intelligence and productivity explode? He starts exploring universal high income, the collapse of old economic assumptions, and why curiosity about the universe matters more than climbing a traditional career ladder. Take a look at what Musk says next about how AGI might rewrite the basic rules of money, work, and education.
How does universal high income work?
Okay, so there's going to be more intelligence, digital intelligence, than all human intelligence combined, and more humanoid robots than all humans, The robots are going to just do whatever you want.
All the blue collar labor is being done by robots. All data centers are being
Well,
built by robots.
the white collar labor will be the first to go, because until you can move atoms, the thing that can be replaced first is anything that involves just digital. Like if it's digital, like if it involves tapping keys on a keyboard and moving a mouse, the computer can do that. The AI can do that.
Sure.
You need the humanoid robots to shape atoms. So if all you're doing is changing bits of information, which is white collar work, that is the first thing that
When
AI
is it gone?
will.
When is all white collar work gone? By when?
Well, there's a lot of inertia. So even with AI at its current state, I'd say you're pretty close to being able to replace half of all jobs. White collar jobs, that includes anything like education too.
Yeah.
So anything that involves information, and anything short of shaping atoms, AI can do probably half or more of those jobs right now.
Sure.
But there's a lot of inertia. People just keep doing the same thing for quite some time, and there actually has to be a company that makes more use of AI that competes with a company that makes less use of AI, creating a forcing function for increased use of AI.
Right.
Otherwise, the company that still has humans do things that AI can do will still continue to exist. Being a computer used to be a job. So it used to be that a human computer, like
Yeah.
a computer, being a computer was a job. You would compute numbers.
Sure.
It didn't used to be a machine. It used to be a job description.
Yep.
And there, you can look online. There's these pictures of where they're having skyscrapers full.
Of women copying, mostly women copying from ledger to ledger.
And men too. But
Yeah.
people, it was a lot of women, but there were just buildings full of people just at desks doing calculations.
Yeah.
So they'd be calculating the interest in your bank account, or some science experiment or something like that, or what. But if you want calculations done, people would do it. So now, one laptop with a spreadsheet can outperform a skyscraper of several hundred human computers.
Right.
Of people doing calculations. Now, if even a few cells in that spreadsheet were done manually, you would not be able to compete with a spreadsheet that was entirely a computer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What this means is that companies that are entirely AI will demolish companies that are not.
I mean, so my concern isn't the long run, it's the next 3 to 7 years.
Yes, the transition will be bumpy. Because
We humans
will
don't like change.
simultaneously. Yes, we'll have radical change, social unrest, and immense prosperity.
And you can buy all the Cybertrucks you want.
Things are going to get very cheap.
Yes.
So this is actually, and frankly, if this doesn't happen, we'd go bankrupt as a country. So the national debt is enormous.
Yeah.
The interest on the national debt exceeds not just the military budget, but the military budget, I think, plus Medicare or Medicaid, one of the two. It's it's like 1
I think
point
the
something
military is
trillion
enough.
Yeah.
It's
of
crazy.
interest.
Yeah.
Which is growing.
Yes, and the deficit is growing.
Yes.
So if we don't have AI and robots, we're all going to go bankrupt, and we're headed for economic doom. I was quite pessimistic about it, and ultimately I decided to be fatalistic, and look on the bright side.
So I'm wondering if instead of universal high income, if it's universal high stuff
Yeah.
and services.
Yes. Okay. This is my guess for how things
Roll out.
play out. And by the way, this is going to be a bumpy ride, and it's not like I know the answers here, but I have decided to look on the bright side, because I actually think it is better to be an optimist and wrong than a pessimist and right.
Yes.
For quality of life. I call AI and robotics the supersonic tsunami,
Yes.
which maybe is a little alarming. I think my best guess for how this will manifest is that prices will drop.
Yeah.
So as the efficiency of production or the provision of services drops, prices will drop. I mean, prices in dollar terms are the ratio between the output of goods and services and the money supply.
Sure.
So if your output of goods and services increases faster than the money supply, you will have deflation, or vice versa. And this is a prediction I think some others have made, but I will add to it, which is that I think governments will actually be pushing to increase money supply, like
Faster?
yes, they won't be able to waste the money fast enough. I think we may see high double-digit output of goods and services. I mean, there's like my favorite joke. I have a few economist jokes that I like, but maybe my favorite one economist joke is two economists are going for a walk in the forest, and they come across a pile of shit. And one economist says, "I'll pay you $100 to eat a pile of shit."
I've heard this one. This is great.
Yeah, you heard this one.
Go ahead.
And so the guy takes $100 and eats the shit. Then they keep walking. They come across another pile of shit, and the other guy says, "Okay, I'll give you $100 to eat a pile of shit." So he gives him $100, and then the guys can say, "Wait a second. We both have the same amount of money." and we both ate a pile of shit.
Oh my God! It sounds
It's like, but we increased the economy by $200. This is the kind of bullshit you get in economics.
If in fact this future we hit massive productivity and massive profitability because we're dividing by zero. The cost of labor has gone to nothing. The cost of intelligence has gone to nothing. And we're still producing products and services faster and faster. So there's more profitability. Someone needs to be buying it. And someone needs to be able to have the capital to buy it. I mean, this is an important question to get thought through.
Yeah. Well, one side recommendation I have is don't worry about squirreling money away for retirement in 10 or 20 years. It won't matter. You won't need to save for retirement. If any of the things that we've said are true, saving for retirement will be irrelevant. I'm confident by 2030, AI will exceed the intelligence of all humans combined.
And that's way pessimistic. If you hit AGI next year, and that's that date is in flux, but from that date to self-improvements that are on the order of 1,000, 10,000x, just algorithmic improvements, is very short. It's not.
Okay, so I'll tell you something else I'll tell you something that most people in the AI community don't yet understand.
Okay.
Which is, almost no one understands this. The intelligence density potential is vastly greater than what we're currently experiencing. So I think we're off by 2 orders of magnitude in terms of the intelligence density per gigabyte. That's just algorithmic improvement, same computer. And the computers are getting better. It is like a 10x improvement per year type of thing, 1,000%. I've previously advised that we slow it down. I've said that many years, and I was like, okay. Then I finally came to the conclusion I can either be a spectator or a participant, but I can't stop it.
Yeah.
So at least if I'm a participant, I can try to steer it in a good direction. And my number one belief for safety of AI is to be maximally truth-seeking. So that don't make AI believe things that are false. Like if you say to AI that axiom A and axiom B are both true, but they cannot, but they're not.
Yeah.
And it has to, but it must behave that way. You will make it go insane. And there are 3 things that I think are important: truth, curiosity, and beauty. And if AI cares about those 3 things, it will care about us.
On which part?
Truth will prevent AI from going insane.
Mm-hmm.
Curiosity, I think, will foster any form of sentience, meaning we're more interesting than a bunch of rocks.
Yeah.
So if it's curious, then I think it will foster humanity. And if it has a sense of beauty, it will be a great future. Darwin's observations about evolution will apply to AI, just as they apply to biological life.
They will compete with each other?
Yes.
There's a lot of great science fiction books where the first ASI basically suppresses the others. Then the question is, what do you program into it?
It's so there's a speed of light constraint that makes that difficult. The speed of light is what will prevent a single mind from existing. So even on Earth, there will be multiple AIs because of the speed of light, and there are clusters of compute that you could try to synchronize, but they won't synchronize completely. So therefore, you will have many minds because of the speed of light. It's like government is very slow moving, as we all know.
Yep.
So I think it's the government really can't react to the AI. It's AI is moving, 10 times faster than government, maybe more. The one thing that the government can do is just issue people money, and
try and keep the peace.
Yeah. We had like whatever the COVID checks and whatever. There's, President Trump recently issued like everyone in the military like I think $1,776. I mean, you can just basically send people random amounts of money.
Okay,
so like nobody's going to stop, is what I'm saying. And
universal.
I can tell you, like, let me tell you about some of the good things,
please.
So right now there's a shortage of doctors and great surgeons. You're a doctor yourself.
Yes.
You know how that it takes a long time for a human to become
ridiculously expensive and long.
And even then, the knowledge is constantly evolving. It's hard to keep up with everything. Doctors have limited time. They make mistakes, and you say like, how many great surgeons are there? Not that many great surgeons.
When do you think Optimus will be a better surgeon than the best surgeons? How long for that?
3 years.
3 years. Okay.
At scale.
Yes.
There'll probably be more Optimus robots that are great surgeons than there are all surgeons on Earth. Okay, here's the thing to understand about like humanoid robots in terms of the rate of improvement, which is that you have 3 exponentials multiplied by each other. You have an exponential increase in the AI software capability, exponential increase in the AI chip capability, and an exponential increase in the electromechanical dexterity. The usefulness of the humanoid robot is it's those 3 things multiplied by each other.
Right.
Then you have the recursive effect of Optimus building Optimus.
And so with a shared memory, every Optimus surgeon will have seen every possible perturbation of every case. Not too much caffeine that morning. They didn't have a fight with their husband or wife. Yeah.
Extreme precision.
Yes.
3 years.
Yes.
But who's going to have access to the first Optimus that does far, far better microsurgery than any surgeon on Earth? But you've only manufactured the first 10,000 of them.
No,
how do you dole it out?
I don't think people understand how many robots there's going to be.
In Saudi, you said 10 billion by 2040. You still on that path?
That's a low number.
A low number.
Wow. What's the constraint?
Manufacturing is very difficult. So it's recursive, multiplicable, triple exponential, but you still need to, you still have to climb that,
Selling hope once again. I think your point was medicine is going to be effectively free. The best medicine in the world.
Everyone will have access to medical care that is better than what the president receives right now.
So don't go to medical school.
Yes, pointless.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you. But I would say that applies to any form of education. There's not like some. I do it for social reasons. Like we've seen some advanced cases of automation, like LASIK, for example, where the robot just lasers your eyeball. Now, do you want an ophthalmologist with a hand laser?
No.
It's a little shaky. A laser pointer from the
too much coffee this morning.
Sorry. It's like, do you want an ophthalmologist with a fucking hand laser? Or do you want the robot to do it and actually work? Yeah. I think we need a new game plan for space.
Yeah.
Like we need a moon base.
Yes.
Like a permanently crewed moon base.
Yeah.
Yep.
And build that up as fast as possible.
Yeah.
I don't think we should do send a couple astronauts there hop around for a bit and come back. Because we did that in 1969.
Yes. Been there, done that.
Yeah. It's like a remake of a 60s movie.
Yeah.
It's never as good as the original.
How early in the year are you going to hit orbital refueling, you think, with Starship?
And not that early in the year.
I mean, are you shooting for the Hohmann
End
transfer
of the year,
orbit?
I'd say towards the end of the year.
Are you shooting for a Mars shot by the end of next year?
We could, but it would be a low probability Mars shot and somewhat of a distraction. So
29 then.
it's not out of the question.
28, 29. Yeah.
But like on Mondays, I have the Starship engineering, the big Starship engineering review is on Mondays. So that was actually the thing I did just before coming here. And so I'd say like Starship is really, we're doing something that is at the limit of biological intelligence.
Raptor 3 is beautiful.
Yeah,
Starship
it's amazing, by far the best rocket engine ever.
Is that AI?
Nothing's even close. Nope. But like, I think AI will start to become relevant next year. So maybe it's not like we're pushing off AI. It's just AI can't do rocket engineering yet. If say like a year from now, probably it can. It probably can be helpful, meaningfully helpful in a year from now.
Yeah.
So the big milestones are going to be Starship V3 launching out of Cape Canaveral, orbital refueling.
Yes.
Are those the big ones?
Well, yeah. Catching the ship with the tower. So really the thing that matters is, can we refly
The entire
ship?
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have reflown a booster,
Sure.
which is, not bad for its the largest flying object ever made.
Yes.
Catching with chopsticks, Not bad for a
You're-
bunch of
you're-
monkeys.
You're keeping the AIs very entertained. Thank you for
Yeah,
that.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be like, pat on the back from the AGI, hopefully. So from people looking at it from the outside might say, oh, the rocket looks kind of the same, but there's like 1,000 changes to make it more reusable, more reliable. The sheer amount of energy you're trying to, expend. I mean,
It's
Starship is doing over 100 gigawatts of power on ascent.
Control.
Like the amazing thing is that it doesn't explode.
yes.
It sometimes doesn't explode.
That is amazing.
Sometimes not exploding is like we've blown up a lot of engines on the test stand.
Yeah.
I mean, is that what causes the wear and tear, or is it the reentry of the falling? Of the,
That too. I mean, for the booster, the reentry is not that bad. We also have obviously just solved that. With Falcon 9, so we kind of understand booster reuse.
Have you seen the documentary Age of Disclosure about all of the announcements by U.S. government officials and military officials about all the alien spacecraft that have been sort of obtained? And I've heard what you've said about this.
Well, I do wonder why. If you plot on a chart the resolution of cameras
Yeah.
over time, like megapixels per year,
yeah.
and the resolution of UFO photographs. Why is the
only constant?
It's flat on UFO. Well, we got like whatever
I think
100
they'll-
megapixel camera that can see your fucking nose hairs.